Today is March the 26th. Earlier this week, I was reading about different historic events that took place on March the 26th. And one of the things that I was really struck by was how many famous people in the last maybe century and a half were born on March 26th. You can look it up and see for yourself. People like the playwright Tennessee Williams, the Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor, and the psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor Viktor Frankl, all born on this day in different years, but all March 26th babies. They are all, each of them, dead, but they're still remembered. People look back and remember them and see the picture of a man who is known for his plays, a woman who became the first woman to sit on the Supreme Court, and another one for his contributions to the work of human psychology. On this date in 1904, the professor and author of books about the meaning of religion, Joseph Campbell, was born. I was thinking about Joseph Campbell in preparation for Holy Week. Something he wrote many years ago came to mind. This is what he wrote. People say that we're all seeking a meaning for life. I don't think that's what we're seeking. I think what we're really seeking is an experience of being alive. An experience of being alive. Those words kind of sit well with me when I think about Holy Week, because I think in some ways those words capture the meaning and the themes of Holy Week. Jesus shared our human life, the good, the bad, the ugly, the joyful, the sorrowful, and even death. He shared human death. And as we walk through Holy Week, we remember and we celebrate again that Jesus has come to reveal every human moment. No matter what it's like, every human moment can be an experience of being alive, really alive, when we realize that God is with us, not up above looking down on us, but right with us in every human moment. Now, this is the last staff reflection for the season of Lent, because during Holy Week, most of our masses and services will be live streamed, and they also will be archived on the YouTube channel. The staff will not be offering reflections during Holy Week. Those reflections will begin again on the Monday after Easter. So I had planned to go in a different direction for this reflection based on Joseph Campbell's words. But life happens, right? And now I'm in a different path for my reflection today. This picture right here was given to me this past week. In the middle is my paternal grandfather. He died when I was in kindergarten. And also in this picture is my father. He's right there. And next to him is his brother right there, who was a year younger than him, my Uncle Bill. The picture isn't dated, but given what I think my dad and his brother's ages are there, I believe this picture was probably taken, I think, either in 1937 or 1938. And I look at that picture and think, what a different world they lived in. What a different time. What different sets of circumstances they were living through. But I look back at the picture and I see three men whose lives are part of who I am today, and who I look back and am grateful for the ways in which they have influenced who I am at this time in my life. Now, my Uncle Bill, who's in this picture, he is my godfather. He died unexpectedly this past week. He had been ill for a while, but we didn't expect him to be dying, at least this week. We didn't expect the end when it came. So in this week, we've been talking as a family a lot, and I've been talking to my brother and my sister, and I had two separate conversations with them. And in both conversations, we talked about how it seems in the last 2 years, 3 years, many relatives of a certain generation, the parents of people that we grew up with from our childhood, all important parts of our growing up, many of these people are going home to the Lord. And all of a sudden, when you see the big picture, some of those people are no longer with us in that picture. They've gone home to the Lord. And, you can't help, the three of us were talking, your eyes sort of get misty, you sort of feel tender in your heart, and you wonder, where have all the years gone? How do we get to this moment? Now, my Uncle Bill, he never married, he had no children, but he was always a permanent fixture at every family gathering, at all our holidays. And as my brother and sister and I shared various stories about him, quite hilarious, some of the stories, what I came to realize is that the sadness that we were feeling was not only from saying goodbye to him, but that we were also saying goodbye and reflecting again on those moments from long ago when we really felt alive, when we really felt a sense of peace and goodness and grace. And I think that's what death does. It is, yes, about mourning the person, but it's also about mourning the past, now being gone forever, and also a sense of gratitude and celebrating life, the moments when we really have felt alive. In those moments when we have really felt alive, those are the moments that we are also really feeling the presence of the risen Jesus. It's not just a good feeling. It's a sign to us that the risen Jesus is with us. And so this week, we will be celebrating this great truth of our faith, that because of Jesus, life is changed, never ended, and that we who remain, we are called to carry Jesus and to bring Jesus into our world. But also during Holy Week, I think of the cross, and I think that part of our mission as followers of Christ, as part of the family of Jesus, is that during Holy Week, we bring to the cross those we want to carry with us. So yes, I'll be thinking of my dear Uncle Bill especially during Holy Week. But I'll also be thinking of other people who have gone before us as well, parishioners, friends, family. I'm going to bring them to the cross with me. But also, I think the Lord calls us to expand our hearts and to think about others who need us to bring them to the cross. Who will you carry to the cross this week? Who will you bring to the cross on Good Friday? Will you carry the frontline workers in all professions who have served us, sacrificed for us, and continue to serve us in these challenging days? Will you bring to the cross the sick? Maybe those who are living with disabilities. Maybe those for whom mental health is fragile or a struggle. Who will you bring to the cross this week? Will you bring those who have experienced bigotry, especially lately Asian Americans? Will you bring to the cross those who have died in these mass shootings and their families and friends who are left with unimaginable grief? Will you bring to the cross a neighbor, a coworker, a friend, not literally, but spiritually? Will you bring them to the cross this week, desiring to make their concerns, their questions, their needs, to make them your own? Now, I could spend a lot more time suggesting all the kinds of people you could bring to the cross this week, but only you know who needs you to bring them to the Lord. And as we bring them to the Lord, this week we know that the cross is not the end of the story. The resurrection promises life, forgiveness, and peace to those who come to Jesus. That's how we will truly know we are alive.